Some will tell you money is the root of all evil. Yet it may also be the root of all good too. Here's what we know. Life for us began as cave people, and it stunk. Money then changed everything. It allowed us to launch civilization. In other words, money is a superpower. But first, let's back up. Let's say you have some money and you want some more money. You approach a bank and you try to get a loan to increase the size of your business and put your competitors out of work. They're excited because you will have to pay them back in interest, and you don't mind because that loan helps you get a profit. Everybody wins. This dynamic is what allowed us to go from cave people into modern society. If you took out a loan to consume, such as ordering Uber Eats, then you should have never taken the debt. Not all debt is good. So if money is a superpower, then the devil might be the supervillain. And what do I mean by the devil? Devils are known to all cultures. Across civilizations, the devil has been a metaphor for debt. A common cause of slavery was not paying back a loan. Some of the earliest restrictions on how much interest you could collect from a loan comes from the Bible and Quran, not the government. Usury refers to outrageously high interest rates, which religions, not governments, were the first to outlaw. There are four main ways that debt is like the devil. Here are the four ways. The devil tempts you. Just in the story of the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve are tempted with an apple. And debt tempts you. You don't have the money, but you get a credit card with mileage points, so you go take a vacation you really can't afford. The devil uses logic and reasoning. So too, banks, loan providers, and credit card companies use logic and reasoning. They try to convince you that you want to go to the school of your dreams, so take out a bigger loan. They'll try to tell you how nice all of your friends and neighbors will think of you and your status if you drive a nice car with a high monthly payment. The devil tricks you into a bad deal and never lies. The average credit card interest rate is 22%. Compare this with the average annualized stock market returns of 6%. In other words, the growth of your debt will outweigh and beat the growth of your stocks by a lot. It's not even close. The last way that debt is like the devil is a shapeshifter. According to old traditions, the devil took the shape of a serpent in the Garden of Eden. Sometimes it's portrayed as a half goat, half horned human animal. Sometimes a poltergeist or spirit. And other times somebody who looks like a normal human among us. Heck, there's a reason why we call the devil's food cake, because the chocolate is such a nasty temptation to us. Debt is also a shapeshifter and may come in the form of credit cards, mortgage payments, car leases, and even rent. Or, even worse, payday loans. Let's review interest and inflation. This is our previous video. Plankton needs a loan from the bank to hire more employees, improve his restaurant, and then beat out his competitors. The loan is for $54,000 at an interest rate of 4%. If the loan will be paid back in 10 years, with interest charged each year for 10 years, what is the total amount of money that must be returned to the bank? Step 1, assuming your calculator is on, clear the memory. Step 2, hit 54,000 for the principal, the plus minus button, and then present value. Step 3, hit 10N to tell the calculator there will be 10 cycles of interest charged onto the principal. Step 4, hit 4, and then interest per year for interest per year. And step 5, hit future value, and you are done. The answer? $79,933.19 rounded up. Let's try an example with inflation, which is the same calculation. Today, a salad costs $15. Assume 4% annual inflation each year. How much will a salad cost in 12 years? Step 1. Assuming your calculator is on, clear the memory. Step 2. Hit 15 for the principal and then the plus minus button, then present value. Hit 12N to tell the calculator there will be 12 cycles of inflation affecting the principal. Hit 4 and then interest per year for interest per year. Hit future value and you are done. The answer is $24.02. In other words, what costs $15 today, assuming this inflation rate, will cost $24.02 12 years from now. Let's try inflation-adjusted rate of change. Your bonds in a chocolate company will grow 5% every year, but you expect inflation to be 1% every year. What's your inflation-adjusted rate of change? And here we have our formula. 1 plus the rate of return divided by 1 plus the rate of inflation minus 1 times 100. All right. We know that our rate of return is 1.05 for the numerator and 1.01 for the inflation in the denominator. This gives us 1.04 rounded up minus 1 times 100, which is 4%. Let's try inflation-adjusted returns. Your bonds in a chocolate company will grow 5% every year, but you expect inflation to be 1% every year. What's your inflation-adjusted return on a $250 investment after 5 years? We know the inflation-adjusted rate of change, or the I/YR value, is going to be 4%. So we just calculated this, and so the only thing that changed in this word question is what we are solving for. Step 1, assuming your calculator is on, clear the memory. Step 2, hit 250 for the principal, the plus minus button, and then present value. Step 3, hit 5N to tell the calculator there will be 5 cycles of inflation affecting bond growth of the principal. Step 4, hit 4 and then interest per year for interest per year. Hit future value and you are done. The answer is $304.16. Let's get our brains ready for the annuity, which will be our focus tomorrow. Remember the interest formula? Hopefully it makes a little more sense to you since you began this program. Well, look at the formula for an annuity. It's a little more complex. An annuity is a pile of money, or a lump sum to be more technical, that is growing while at the same time issuing payments. It's a lot like a stock paying dividends. The asset is becoming more valuable, but sending out cash to its holders to keep them happy. Before we can understand an annuity, let's first start with a perpetuity. A perpetuity is a financial instrument that issues a payment like a dividend every time cycle, maybe year or month, forever. Perpetuities aren't really sold anymore. You can try to create one for yourself, but financial institutions are no longer selling these. But the concept will help us understand annuities. Perpetuities are hard to make. You are saying that the cash flow your investor will receive each time cycle will last in perpetuity or forever. That's a very hard thing to guarantee. Think of a perpetuity more like Bigfoot or the Loch Ness Monster. It may not exist, but it helps us understand other animals. So, a perpetuity, a lump sum always producing extra payments for the investor, is represented as following. You have the payment per cycle divided by the rate of change. Example, you create a perpetuity that pays $1,000 every month. The remainder of your brokerage account, which you get that $1,000 a month from, is still growing 2% every month. How much would your brokerage account be worth if you wanted to sell it? So we're going to take the payment per cycle, which is $1,000. We're going to divide it by the rate of change, which is 0.02. Since we cannot divide by a percentage, we have to convert it to a decimal. And so we get $50,000. Your homemade perpetuity, in theory, could sell on the market for $50,000. Ta-da! Tomorrow we will get ready for annuity calculations.